Hi guys, today we're going to be planting potatoes and I'm really excited for this. One, because we're putting things in the ground, and two, I love planting things that grow underground because you never know what you're going to get until you harvest them. Now, potatoes are a very easy crop to grow. Just follow a few simple steps and we should have a really good harvest. So the first thing is to pick a spot in your garden that gets at least 6 hours of sun per day. Potatoes like full sun. The more sun they get, the happier they are. This bed gets about 8 hours, if not 10 hours of sunlight each day. So this is going to be a perfect location for this. The next step is to prepare our potatoes. We're going to be planting Yukon Golds today, and I prepped mine a few days ago. So depending on the size of your potato is going to determine whether you plant it whole or whether you divide it. So basically you want to take your potato and you want to examine it and look for all of these little sprouts or indents, which are called eyes. Those are your growth points, and that's where the sprout or the plant is going to grow from. So if you have a potato like this size and you have multiple eyes all around it, you can divide it in half and you'll end up with two separate plants. Whereas if you have a smaller potato like this, which is like the size of a golf ball, and it only has 2 or 3 eyes on one side of it, there's nothing on the back side or anywhere, this we can plant whole. The only thing is if you take a potato and divide it, you want to give it a couple days to let the skin, the cut side, heal over, because if you plant it directly into the ground, it could rot. Now we want to prepare our soil. Potatoes, like most root crops, like a very light and fluffy soil with a pH between 6 and 6.5. Now this bed, this soil here appears to be very light and fluffy on the surface, but you want to get in and fluff it up with a shovel or a digging fork just to make sure that there's no clumps or hard lumps. So I'm just going to take my shovel and just fluff up the soil and make sure I'm breaking up any compacted or large pieces of soil. Now that we've got the soil all fluffed up, but before we level it all out, it's a good time to add in some organic matter and some starter fertilizer. I'm going to be using the Biotone starter fertilizer and Land and Sea compost, and I'm just going to mix it all in and smooth it all out. And I pretty much eyeball just how much starter fertilizer I'm going to use. I just want to go in here and just mix it all up. Break up any large pieces of soil or compost. Just get it all nice and mixed. Now that we've got the soil all prepped, we're ready to plant. And depending on the size of your bed and how many potatoes you have will determine how many plants you can get into the ground. So what I'm going to do is, because I only have 6 potatoes in here, I'm going to plant them right down the center of the bed, and then I'm going to come in on both sides and do some companion planting with some lettuce. So first I'm going to dig a 4 to 6 inch trench right down the middle of the bed. And this is where I'm going to plant my potatoes. I've got my trench all dug and we are ready to plant. So I'm going to take my potatoes and I am going to plant them cut side down with the eye facing up, about 6 to 8 inches apart from each other. Now, the further apart you space them, the bigger the potatoes can get because they'll have more room underground to form their tubers. If you're planting them in the ground, directly in the ground, I would probably plant them about 12 to 16 inches apart. So again, we're taking our potato slices cut side down with the eye facing up. And for the potatoes that we're planting whole, same thing. The eye facing up. And now we just put the soil back on top of them. The potatoes are planted. I've got one row running along the center. So now I'm going to come in along both sides and plant some lettuce. I've got romaine and red romaine to plant. So let me get those in the ground real quick. Now I'm going to water them all in, get them nice and settled into their new homes, and just check and make sure that there's not any air pockets or spots where I need to add a little more soil. Potatoes and lettuce, they both like an even, consistent moisture level. They don't want to be sitting in soggy, wet soil, but you don't want to let them dry out too much. So basically just let the soil dry out, the top 2 inches of soil dry out, and then just give them a nice deep soak. And keep an eye on them, because during the warmer months, the soil will dry out a lot sooner. We've got everything watered and settled into their new homes. The lettuce, we can harvest off of that while it matures. The potatoes take 100 days until they're ready to harvest. So in the meantime, I will just keep an eye out on this bed and check the moisture level and water as needed. And I will give you guys updates on that. And then once we're ready to harvest, we're going to do that together. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative, and I hope you get into your garden and plant some potatoes. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye. Hi guys, I totally spaced and forgot to mention, when the potatoes get about 12 inches high, I'm going to come in with a little more compost and just kind of cover up the base of the plant, or hill up the base of the plant. That'll help keep the roots and the tubers cool. All right guys, have a great day.